Welcome to the Backpacking Podcast. As always, John Kelly here with Jeremiah Stringer, the king of Kentucky backpacking. And we are brought to you by Outdoor Vitals, makers of Performance First ultralight gear. Jeremiah, how you doing, man?
I'm doing fantastic today. Beautiful day. As soon as we get off here, I'm headed outside. Beautiful Kentucky, baby.
67 degrees out right now here in Georgetown, Kentucky. It's probably a little warmer down there in Somerset. My kids are outside playing, and basically I'm just going to let them play until it's time for dinner. And I'm not like the town I live in, or at least the place I live in my town is like Mayberry. All the kids running around, everybody hanging out. We got a couple people already in the room. This is a pop-up live stream, by the way, so people didn't even know this was coming, but check it out. Nick Rambles, dudes. Jacob Poucher, what's up, man? And our good friend, as always, Devin, Mr. Backcountry Exposure himself. JK Koss, or JG Koss, is on here. We are pumped, Jeremiah, to be doing some live streams again. We were going to do one Monday night, but you were under the weather, and we decided, you know what, let's just do a pop-up one on Wednesday, see what happens. But before we get too far with this, Jeremiah, why don't you tell us a little bit about a promotion that is going on with our title sponsors, Outdoor Vitals?
Yeah, sure. You can visit them at outdoorvitals.com. But right now they're doing 27% off their Summit Down sleeping bags. Now, personally, I like the quilt, but they're having a sale on the sleeping bags, which is another great fit. I'll tell you a few things I have written here that I like about it. First of all, 27% off. That is my favorite.
Who doesn't love that one, right?
Yeah. So, and you'll probably love that too, but they're the best ultralight 4-season sleeping bag. It has the hood around you, and actually you don't even need the cinch. I don't know, John, if you've used the cinches that dangle in your face while you're trying to sleep at night.
Only when it's really cold.
Well, you don't have to worry about that with this sleeping bag. It is designed and engineered where you don't need that. It's perfectly shaped around your head and zips up great, so you're not going to get any drafts. A couple other things, 800 feel hydrophobic down, so you don't have to worry about it getting a little wet and sopping out on you. And lastly, unique baffle design, keeping you nice and warm and toasty and draft free on those cold nights out in the woods. So I have the Summit 15 quilt. I would check out the sleeping bags if I were you. Again, outdoorvitals.com, and you can check out our sponsor. Thank you.
Yeah, it is beautiful out here right now. And this weekend, Jeremiah, you and I and some friends are getting out for a little different kind of trip.
Oh, my goodness, man. I just got off the phone with the guy spearheading the trip. I'm pretty sure he put everything together. It is all things outdoors, out space doors. You can check out his YouTube channel if you want some great hiking, backpacking, and now Bronco kind of overlanding, off-roading style content, which is what we're going to get into.
Yeah, I'm excited, Jeremiah. Check this out. The nice thing about this is we're going to base camp. We're going to go to a campground. We're actually renting out campsites, and we're going to kind of base camp for this thing, a car camping kind of thing. You want to see the tent that I'm taking for this thing?
Oh, I would love to.
This is the hotel, man. This is the Taj Mahal, the bougie camp out tent of all time. Check that thing out, man.
Very orange.
It's very orange, and it's got 2 rooms in it.
Are you going to have a roommate on this trip?
I've already offered for Mr. Backpacking with Jason. If he wants to use half of it, he can. But you can walk around inside that thing, man. That thing is tall enough that Jeremiah Stringer can walk around inside of it.
Well, I'm not expecting rain, but if we do get some, we'll be sitting in there playing some cards or something.
That was kind of my thought, was if it gets to raining, we can all sit in there. I can set up a table and we can kind of hang out and everything. That tent is the Gazelle. I think it's called the T4, and it is a masterful tent. It's a hub tent, so it literally takes you less than a couple minutes just to set it up. You literally just pump out the sides, stake it down, and you're done.
Well, that's good. I hope you can do it by yourself, because I don't plan to arrive until Friday evening. I have to work, dude. I kept thinking, maybe I could take a half day off. Maybe I could do a little sick time, nudge, to clear my mental health, And then I got to thinking, I've missed a lot of days this year, and you don't get too many sick days. And actually, we were going to record Monday and do a live stream Monday night, and you mentioned that I was under the weather. Actually, I woke up Monday morning and I put in a sick day at like 5 a.m. And I laid there and laid there and laid there. And then I said, I'm going to drag myself out of bed and go on and make all these kids sick. So I canceled the sick day, canceled the text I was going to send out to get everything prepped and ready to go for my other planning partners, and decided to just keep on trucking. But end of the day came and I was exhausted. So I think
Yeah.
I'm gonna make the responsible decision, just like I did Monday, of canceling that sick day. I think I'm gonna hold on to that half day and just show up late with you guys. So I guess the party will already be started by the time I get there. Everybody will be parked back at the campground.
Now you
But
do
that's
realize
okay.
if you take a half day,
Mhm.
okay, you said you're gonna take a half day that day.
Well, I could have, but I think I'm gonna decide not to, because y'all probably be in the
Oh,
middle of the woods whenever I show up. Even if I did take a
that's
half
true.
day, I get there and then I'm
Or
like,
you'd
"Where's
get there, or
everybody at?"
you'd get there right as we're getting back to camp.
Yeah, and y'all could tell me about all the fun that I missed.
Well, we're gonna be doing that anyways. So, but check this out. Check this out. So Doc Watson's on here. It's good to see all of our friends we haven't had a chance to talk to in a while. Outdoor dog and hiking girl. Good evening from the Netherlands. We
Oh,
got Rod Outdoors. What's up, man? And then, of course, our good friend Jeremy, Mr. Midwest Backpacker, saying, "Hey, boys." Jeremiah, what I'm excited about the trips. I've never done one of these before.
oh, dude, I took
You
Bridget on
know?
her first one, and I one of the guys that's going on the trip, Mike, he had, I think he sold it now and he's got an even better one, but a lifted Jeep, tricked out, suspension, everything changed out, and like 38-inch tires or wheels. Or I'm not a Jeep guy, so I don't even know how to describe these things. All I know how to do is sit in the passenger seat and hold on to the bars, because, dude, you are in for. I cannot wait. I wish I was there
I'm
the whole time.
pumped. I'm pumped, dude. I can't tell you how excited I am about this. By the way, Hilltop Pack says yo, but then wait, it's amended. Ben McMillan, oops, wrong account again. So 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 Ben's in here, and Ben, you want to stick around because we're actually going to be talking about Hilltop Packs here in just a little bit. But Jeremiah, one of the things that I'm also excited about is the fact that when you go car camping,
Mhm.
you don't have to pack like you're backpacking. So of course
Oh,
I'm not going to carry a 8 foot tall, 20 foot wide tent in my backpack, and at
mhm.
the same time I wouldn't be bringing my Blackstone with me either. You know,
Oh,
so
what are you gonna
let's just say there's gonna be some steak fajitas made Friday night. Uh,
bro,
we're gonna
this
we're gonna we're gonna cook up those onions and peppers on Friday night on the Blackstone, and then in the morning, let's just say I might be bringing some eggs and bacon with me to share with my friends. So,
dude,
I mean,
let's talk about food for a second.
this is how it should be, man. This is if you're not gonna be in a backpack, if you're not backpacking, you bougie camp. That's my opinion.
The people in the comments right now, we would love for you all to give us some food suggestions that are great for camping, because we're gonna have, like, I was talking to Woodall Trails. We had him on the podcast not too long ago, and at the moment, we're planning on riding up together actually on Friday after work.
Oh, is he
And
coming too?
well, he is planning on it. You know, he's got kids and wife
Cool.
and a life too, so you never know. But yeah, at the moment, we're planning on rock and rolling together. So I said, what are you thinking, dude?" And we were talking about food, and he said, "Well, I tell you what, man, I have one of these battery banks. Have you seen? They're like the size of a car battery,
Yeah, I'm
and
bringing
it's
one with me.
okay. Well, you know exactly what I'm talking about." He said, "Dude,
Yeah.
I can plug a griddle into this or anything as long as the amperage isn't too high, I guess. They're rated for a certain output." But I was like, "All right, what are you going to fix?" And he's listing off all this food, and he hunts too. So I don't know if he's bringing deer meat and stuff too, but he was telling me breakfast, all this stuff. I said, "There's a restaurant there at the campground. I don't know if you know this, John, but apparently they have a pretty good little restaurant there, and showers. You can take a hot shower." You
And now
got
and now comes the I would say Jewish part of me, but now that I've already said it, I guess I have to stick with it. But here's the part of me that, buddy, if I could spend $5 and feed 10 people, as opposed to spending $10 to just feed myself,
uh-huh.
I'll spend the $5 and feed my friends, and we can all save some money because restaurants are not cheap. At least that's what my opinion. Now, if I had kids with me, it might be a different story. But I'm
I
gonna,
totally agree.
I'm gonna bring the food myself because that and it's more fun.
Well, I was saying, We keep getting these texts. We have a few people in different groups for text for this trip, and keep talking about food. And I'm like, well, one person's bringing this, one person's bringing this, and Jonathan's like, don't worry too much about food because I'm bringing some too. And I was like, man, there's going to be so much food there. So I'm really trying to think. Do I need to bring me a couple of steaks to throw on your grill? Do I need to just bring me some snacks? Do I just need to bring
Well,
drinks?
and you know
So
what Saturday night is, right?
what's Saturday night?
That would be the Jeremy's famous hot dog chili.
Oh, is he going to save them for Saturday night? The A Todd chili dogs?
The A Todd chili dogs will be there Saturday night. Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's check the comments. We got a
My
few
favorite
people.
comment so far was like right away. Oh, this is from Midwest Backpacker. He goes, eggs? You rich?
Just not chicken. Chickens are cheaper than eggs.
Oh, pancakes and bacon?
Can't go wrong with that, dude.
We got car fridge means fresh fruit.
Oh, yeah. I even take that backpacking, the fresh
I know.
fruit.
I know. And then, check this out. French toast. Sean R. saying French toast. That's a good one, man.
Yeah, I wonder if you make it ahead of time and take it with you, or you make it while you're out there. I don't know.
Oh, Nick Rambles. Check this out. I like, man, that looks weird on the screen. I'll have to figure out how to fix that.
I can't read that.
I can't read that. Here we go. Let's see if that makes it. That did not do anything for us. Okay. Here we go. I'll just read it. I like bringing the rice that's already made, a curry sauce pre-made. Sometimes you can find these in a bag at Kroger pre-made. It's like a pre-made curry sauce. Fry up some veggies and add the sauce. He said you could also, and then he added to it, you could also add the meats too.
Yeah. So it sounds like it's veggie friendly or meat friendly or vegan or whatever kind of food restrictions that you have.
Yeah. He also says, or coconut milk too, to extend the sauce.
Yeah.
I wonder if he was saying that with a New York accent.
It could be. Let us know, Nick.
Because he was saying the sauce. The sauce.
I've had some food that you're supposed to have coconut milk in, and I just didn't have it at the house. So I said, well, I guess I'm eating it without the coconut milk. I got to tell you, not the same. I would say just if it doesn't have the coconut milk, skip it.
Oh, check this out. Wrap ribs or a roast in heavy foil and cook it next to the campfire.
Oh, well, we'll definitely have a campfire. I'm going to be buying campfire wood. That's my contribution.
Yeah, my contribution is I'm going to provide some food for people because I love cooking out in the backcountry. And it's really not really the backcountry. It's kind of just the country. But definitely pancakes and bacon. Doc Watson. Chili dogs? No one will want to share a tent.
Well, luckily they got.
Unless you have two rooms.
Yeah.
If that's no big deal. Yeah, that one room will stink and the other one will be perfectly fine. Backcountry exposure. Breakfast burritos. That actually, I think, is a plan for Saturday morning is breakfast burritos, I think. So I think A. Todd was already planning on that. Ice cream is a good one if you have a 12-volt fridge freezer. That would be good. That would be good. And, of course, A. Todd's on here. Chili dogs. Ooh.
Yeah, I'm thinking dessert. I think what I'm going to do is Bridget and I, listen to how crazy this is, man. She's got a food thing at work, or not at work, but in the evening on Friday. So we'll be out at the campground or whatever Friday. She's got a girls meeting thing that she's supposed to bring something to. I have a work food event. It's our birthday lunch, our monthly birthday lunch for the math department at work. And I'm going to be meeting with you guys that weekend. So what I'm thinking is making like a 5 times the normal serving size of peanut butter balls or Oreo balls or something. And I'll just make them all. She'll take some with her to work. We'll leave some at the house that she can snack on. But whatever we don't eat at work, I will bring and let you guys just consume. Actually, I'm thinking about putting it in somebody else's vehicle because last time I brought peanut butter balls, we took them backpacking, and then I had like a couple dozen, and
So
they're in a big Ziploc.
Just peanut butter at the end of it, right?
Well, what happened was I offered everybody one, and I say, while supplies last, boy. And then the next morning we woke up, and Mr. Backpacking with Jason, sir, is like, you mind if I get one of those peanut butter balls? And I said, bro, those were gone last night at like 9:30. There is nothing left. So I'm thinking I'm going to have to practice some discipline and just put that in somebody else's care.
Well, and we're not hiking, so it's not like you're going to burn off the calories like we would if we were backpacking.
I'm just gonna be sitting
So,
there
yeah,
enjoying the
I know. It's gonna be a blast. Here's another good one. This one's from, Devin. He says, "Creamy chicken and rice in a Dutch oven."
Really?
Ooh, that sounds good. I've got a Dutch oven too. Have you ever had,
That
like, a peach cobbler in a Dutch oven?
No, but have you ever heard of the Dutch oven as a slang term?
Yes, and I've gotten
Yeah.
smacked in the head for that.
Y'all look that one up. If you haven't heard of that one, look that one up.
I tried that once. I'm just happy I'm still married. Um, um, yeah, okay, so, Hilltop Packs, Ben's on here right now, and we didn't really have an order set up. We just had a lot of things we were gonna talk about, but, Hilltop Packs made a post yesterday, and, I wanna pull this up on the screen because I think it's downright hilarious.
Yeah,
Um,
show this to everybody.
yeah,
Y'all can watch on YouTube or Spotify if you wanna see the video version, but John can describe what the picture looks like to
yeah,
everybody.
I can't remember what year it was, but, I was speaking at a conference in Pennsylvania, and on the way back to Kentucky from Pennsylvania, I did an overnight with Ben and a few other backpackers there in, Western PA, and the next day, we stopped in at Hilltop Pack, so we got to visit the facilities and check the place out, and, while we were there, Ben let me play on his, sewing machines, and, he just posted this yesterday, said, "The one time we didn't hire someone because they were just too good. Who do you think it is? Wrong answers only." So, there are people in here right now who answered this. Michael Kirkpatrick, aka somebody who's in here right now, MK Ultra. Wow, I love Yellowstone. How he puts up with Beth, I'll never understand. Um, Jason Huckabee said, "Who let Kevin Smith into the shop?"
Oh my gosh.
I like this is my favorite one. I'm gonna have to zoom in on this. Let me see if I can get in on it so you guys can see it. But John Hindeman said, "Oh, get back over
Oh,
here."
you had it. You
I
had it,
had
bro.
it. It moved on me. It moved on me. Here, let's go back up right there. Mr. Ohio State. How
Oh,
about that? How about
boo.
that? And then Devin Ashby, of course. Con Jelly. Is that really him? Robert Halterman with maybe the best compliment ever. Shug with a
Oh,
flexing arm. Lester Holt.
yeah.
Mike Goose said it was Jason Bourne. This was a great one. Jeremiah needs to stop dyeing his hair.
Oh my goodness. My hair is crazy. I saw Jacob Poucher's comment a few minutes ago about my hair.
Dude, it's getting impressive. I'm not gonna lie, man. I might have a little bit of hair jealousy right now.
Well, don't. It's so much more like the hair care routine is so much higher with the longer hair. But yeah, I had a kid today that come up to me in one of my honors classes, and I had my hair just down. It's all frizzy and crazy. You know, I don't care. She said, "Oh my gosh, your hair just gets on my nerves." And so I put it up in like one ponytail, just flopping on top of my head, just to get on her nerves. So here we are sitting here
So
with my
one of
bang.
your students just looked at you and said your hair gets on their nerves.
Well, she was walking in the door, yeah, and she felt the need to share. And I said, "Well, I didn't realize I was going to show up today and just get bullied by 15-year-olds all day." Yeah, once one person, once one person pops the lid, then the next kid, you know, yeah, you got big feet too. You know, that's an ugly shirt. They all got something to say. They're ready to critique you. They're just waiting on somebody to start the fire.
Yeah, yeah. Do you ever give good comments back?
Oh, bro, they're just asking for it. And I have endless material because I'm constantly working with these teenagers. So I'm observing them. I see what they're wearing and what they're doing and their performance. So I have a lot to say. I just usually don't say anything. We're building good rapport and strong relationships.
Yeah, yeah. That's good. And I think berating children in a way that makes everybody smile and laugh is awesome.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think it's fantastic.
You gotta do the good things, man.
Oh my gosh, man, there are more comments coming in. So
Yeah.
we've
Well,
got we got baked apples in a Dutch oven.
a lot of Dutch oven
Yeah.
content.
Well, and even Doc Watson got in on it with the Dutch oven is possible with the chili dogs if there's any couples attending. Uh, but he's talking about a different Dutch oven. Um, um, I had some peach cobbler that was baked in a Dutch oven. It was amazing. I have 2, and it's great. And here's a good one. Here's a really good one. We love making hobo packs. Any kind of meat, seasonings, and veggies in foil in the campfire. Have you ever made those before?
Yeah, and dude, if you got kids and you take them camping, they love doing that. Oh,
So
they love
great. Yeah, they get to pack it all up themselves, season it themselves, cook it themselves. That stuff is great.
Yeah, and it tastes good actually.
Well, here's an interesting one. This is a backcountry exposure. Devin said, Mormon culture here in Utah, Dutch oven meals are a staple. Every meal you could imagine. See, so this is what here's the thing, Devin. You are a full time outdoor influencer because you are an influencer. I would go so far as to say that. Like, I have bought things because of Devin, and
Mhm.
I continue to buy things because of Devin. Devin is the reason my bank account gets smaller in a lot of ways.
Well,
But
he's got the free for backpacking.
yeah, it's insane. But I think Devin could really make some money if he decided to make a cookbook of Dutch oven meals for camping. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong in that, but if he's got all these meals, I think he should make the cookbook and sell them online.
I got 2 things to say here. First, Devin, we are getting a touch of the Mormon culture here in the Bluegrass State, mostly. And John, I don't think he's really affected, even though he lives close by. But our head coach comes from BYU at University of Kentucky. I know John's an Ohio State guy,
Well,
so
he was also a Kentucky player years ago. So
he was a Kentucky player. But I think that Coach Mark Pope, I won't go on long here because I know not everybody's a Kentucky fan. But yeah, he and his family are Mormon, and he also brought in a Mormon player. So we are getting to see a little bit of light shine on that culture, and it's very interesting to see. And I bet some great foods. Second thing, the Dutch oven. This may be stupid, and I'm curious to hear your opinion on this, John. I don't know, so tell me if I'm dumb. But for some reason, in the back of my brain somewhere, I remember seeing camping shows or something, and they have the Dutch oven and they bury it.
yes,
Is
yeah,
okay.
that's normal. Yeah, what a lot of times what you do is you'll heat up the fire, let it burn down to where you've just got coals, and then you'll take some of the coals and actually set them on top of the Dutch oven, so the top gets cooked just like the underside.
Okay. So there, for a minute, I thought I was just like a crazy person, but
No,
yeah.
no, no, no. That's not crazy at all. Hey, got another great comment here from Drew Rosser. It's so good to have the comments back, man. It says
I
OV
know.
sponsoring your podcast is the reason my bank account gets smaller.
27% off.
27% off. That's right. Your bank account may get smaller, but your gear closet gets fuller. So
Speaking of comments, I was wanting to ask you, Doc Watson, have you seen we were talking last week, we had the high quality H2O episode. And if you haven't heard it, we basically did a deep dive into all things water when it comes to backpacking. Everything that we had that we could fit into an hour. So I'm sure there's things we did.
everything that fits into our feeble minds, we talked about.
Yes. And I was talking about, I saw a picture online of somebody took their water bladder and they put it over top of a paper towel holder so that it held it open and it could dry out. But Doc Watson had commented on here something called I'm not sure how to pronounce it because it has some
Bond
kind of
dry. Bond dry.
andra. I don't know what that accent symbol above the O does. But have you seen this? The Bond dry?
Yeah, I'm actually getting ready to pull it up online so people can see it.
Yeah, I want to see it too. I'm going to just Google it myself here. I got a screen below the screen we're
Oh, they're
looking
having a
at.
Cyber Monday deal, 20% off.
Oh,
That's
pop
not
up
gonna
like
help
that.
us out at all, so just pretend like you never saw that. I'm kidding, I'm kidding.
Edit
Uh,
that out.
but basically, it looks like it's just a drying system. You can see, like, a video going on here where you put this
Oh,
into your bladder.
it's like a boot dryer, but for bladders. I
That's what
never would have thought of this.
yeah.
What's it run you? I'm gonna while
Well,
you're
let's
showing
let's
everybody.
find out here real quick. Let's go to the catalog. The drying products is $25.99 for a regular hydration bladder. For a soft flask dryer, it's $19.99, and for hydration bladders with a center divider, it's $28.49, which is a really odd number.
What a center divider? I've never seen a hydration bladder with a center divider.
Yeah, some of the hydration bladders look like it looks like it's a single bladder, but really it's got two sides to it. They don't make them as often as they used to, but they are out there still.
Oh, okay. So for $26, you can effectively dry your your water bladders, even though I don't really use them much. But, that is much cheaper than buying a new water bladder over and over because you're too lazy to let it dry out and it just keeps molding.
Oh, you don't like mold in your water?
Well, it does give it quite a splash of taste, I'm sure.
I
But
just call it patina. That's all I do. I just call it patina.
yeah, yeah, it's got a little patina in there.
Little color to it. I think that's a cool product. I've seen them for a while. I've honestly, it's one of those things you see them and you think about them and then you forget about them.
Doc Watson says he pronounces it bone dry. I don't know. He might be
Oh, that's probably it. Yeah, let's post it
French
up there
thing.
real quick. Bone dry.
It says
He actually
maybe
got it. He actually got it from. I guess it was a couple years ago. The last time we did the 12 Days of Christmas giveaway. I think one of the other people. I was in that with a bunch of people, and we all gave something different away each day. So I'm guessing that was one of the days. That's cool that he got that.
Yeah, absolutely. He's still using it apparently. Yeah.
Oh, MK Ultra. We were talking about food, and you were
Mhm.
talking about burying a Dutch oven. He said a
Uh-oh.
Nordic oven is when you float it on a wood raft on a lake and light the raft on fire.
I love it. But he's good of he's full of so much good content and rhetoric and
Yeah,
funny guy,
yeah.
man. His content is great on YouTube as well.
And apparently
Let's
the
talk-
Nordic oven is gross to Devin. Although I don't think that's what he's talking about, but that's funny. So,
There's another comment also. Speaking of comments, it is fun seeing them on the live stream.
yeah.
Interact with you guys, and I will say before I get to the comment, one awesome thing is sometimes we get to interview people and their audience, so let's say they're an author or I don't know, just anybody that we've interviewed, you don't normally get a direct line of communication with that person. So I'm excited to get some guests back on here
Yeah.
soon. And then you all in the audience, if you're joining the live streams, obviously if you're just listening to the podcast, you can comment back and forth with us. But on the live streams, you can get direct interaction with the guests that we're having on there. So MK Ultra, I'll come back someday. LOL. Well, we're missing your content, my friend.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. So,
Let's see.
I'll go ahead and break the news now, and it's going to be sad for everybody. And Jeremiah, try and hold back your tears because I know this is personal
Okay.
for you, and I don't want you to get upset. But Joe Rogan keeps asking to be on the podcast, and I keep telling him he's not a backpacker, and
Yeah, he's
so
not.
he's just going to have to not be on the podcast. And he's begged and pleaded, and we've talked on the phone several times. I'm just like, Joe, for one, you don't have a big enough following, and you're not a backpacker. So, I know that hurts for you, Jeremiah, but we're just going to have to stay the course. We got to be true to who we are, and
Yeah.
we're just going to have to say no to Joe.
No, I can live with it. And one thing that does break my heart, he doesn't read his comments at all. He just says that those are poison to his mind and they're going to drag him down. But here we are actively interacting with our audience. And
In all seriousness, if we got as many comments as he did, I doubt I would read the comments either.
yeah, you'd probably get a bunch of nasty ones too.
Oh, yeah.
Honestly.
Oh, yeah.
You would think.
I would bet money on that.
Okay, let me read this one to you. The username, the handle on this guy, Drooper69. I don't even know. Am I allowed? We're live, so I've already said it. So I don't know. I don't know what that even means. But he commented on the YouTube channel on the last week's episode. He said, if y'all could relocate to any spot in Kentucky, where would be the perfect backpacker's dream city? And he says he works remotely, so he's interested in Kentucky, and there's so many great options. He's curious about insider info. And my biggest suggestion is if you're going to be outdoorsy, there's a whole strip of land from the top to the bottom of Kentucky called Daniel Boone National Forest. And you can't go wrong in any county in any part of that national forest. Actually, we're going to be hitting part of that national forest on this off-roading trip. So, John, you won't even have, I know you've done a bunch of it with the Sheltoe, with walking through it, but this weekend, you'll just be able to sit and ride through it. And these trails are wild that you're going to get to enjoy, man. But I would say, Drooper, Drooper 69. I would say, yeah, any part of that strip of Daniel Boone National Forest, or if you want more of the Midwest life and you're a big cave person, head out to Western Kentucky.
Yeah,
Those.
Western Kentucky's really good. I would say too, and this is going to be a strange one. London,
Mhm,
Kentucky's not too bad. London, Kentucky actually has kind of a little monument area to the Sheltowee Trace in it,
mhm,
and it's really close to Cumberland Falls. It's close to Laurel Lake. It's in the Sheltowee Trace is right nearby. There's a bunch of other trails that go through there. It's not far from Rockcastle. The Rockcastle was it Rockcastle River, or Rockcastle Lake, where a lot of
mhm.
trails go through. And it's right off the interstate, so you have access to get to a lot of different places. But it's a kind of a cool little unknown trail town. Like people don't know that London is kind of a trail town here in Kentucky. But when I was hiking the Sheltowee, we had a good friend who was a minister in London who let us stay at his house 2 nights. So we'd hike. I think we hiked like 15 to 20 miles. Give him a call. He'd come pick us up. He'd let us take a shower and wash our clothes at his house, and then we get back out on. He'd drop us off on the trail for the next day, which was really cool for a couple days on the trail. And it also got us a chance to eat at some good restaurants and stuff. So we kind of got a 0 day without taking a 0 day. Is that safe to say?
Yeah, dude, it's the trail angel. Like whenever I was doing the long trail, dude, there's one couple in particular that let us all sleep in their garage overnight, and I was like, if I were the person, I can't see myself doing this because this guy had surgery in the morning at like 5 a.m. So to have a big group of hikers staying at your house and you got to get up at like 3:30 and go through surgery prep, and then you have this surgery just waiting on you at the hospital.
Yeah,
No, trail angels. There's a lot of great people in Kentucky, but there's great people everywhere,
yeah,
and especially around these trails, dude. The trail angels. The community is strong.
yeah, yeah. Morehead, Kentucky's not a bad spot either. As far as just if you're looking for a trail town,
Hmm.
Kentucky doesn't have a ton of trail towns in it. But I would say Morehead is probably one that can be considered a little bit more of a trail town. If you're hiking the Sheltowee and you're going through Morehead, they actually have trail markers on the sidewalks. The little turtle paintings, those
Yeah.
are all on the sidewalks as you walk through downtown Morehead, and it goes right through the campus there, Morehead University, and it's a cool little spot too. I would say London's probably a little bit better because it's kind of a midway point through the northern end of the state and to northern Tennessee, where there's a lot of really good hiking. Pickett State Park is down there, and the East Coast John Muir Trail is there. So there's just I would say if you're looking for a place where you're kind of in the middle of a lot of good hiking trails and areas where you can backpack, London's a really good spot to be in.
Yeah, I totally agree. That's where we had our baby at, was the hospital there in London. There's one other thing that I was wanting to ask you about from what we talked about last week, and I don't really know how we got on this topic. I
Are we
mean,
talking about the toilet bowl? Are we talking about the toilet bowl
there's,
thing?
there's water in the toilet. I still don't really know how we got onto it, but I, we have the results of the poll. We asked,
Guaranteeing I lost.
we asked, whose job is it to raise and lower the toilet seat and or lid if you're a person that keeps the lid up or down. And here's the options. And John, I actually wrote down the timestamp while we were talking so I could quote exactly how you wanted me to write out this poll, because I really didn't know how to ask the question. So here's what
Right,
John
right,
had me.
right,
The question is, whose job is toilet seat lifting and lowering?
right.
And the options, three options here. This is on Spotify, and then we had a bunch of comments on YouTube that we may or may not read some of them. And I would love to hear your all's feedback in the comments live right now, or if you got something else to say in the comments if you're just listening and we're not live anymore. The three options were: men lift and lower the seat. Option two, men lift the seat and women lower it. And then option three, this John told me to put it on here. This is the dumbest poll. So,
There should have been a fourth option.
yeah.
And I know that because I read a few of the comments. And so the fourth option should have been everybody lowers everything, including the lid, when they get done. That should have been our third comment, and then it should have been, this is the dumbest poll we've ever done.
Okay, well, let me give you the results here. Again, this is just from Spotify audience. YouTube doesn't have a poll option yet, so maybe they'll include one eventually. But Of the votes, we had 33%. So a third of the votes went to men lift and lower the seat. Okay.
Okay.
50%, half of the people that answered the poll said that men should lift it and women should lower it. And then 16%, approximately, there's a little bit of decimal in here. This is the dumbest poll.
So I won.
Well, what?
So I
what
won. My opinion won is what you're saying. By
What was your
50% of the poll was that men lift, women lower.
Okay, so you're
equal
saying,
opportunity. Equal opportunity. Everybody takes their part.
yeah, everybody's got skin in the game here.
Oh man, I thought I was going to lose that.
Now, I don't think that I told what I would vote for in last week's episode. I think I abstained, actually. So today I'm going to reveal what my vote would be. All right, you ready? Are you ready?
All right, let's hear it.
I think I'm going to hit the drum roll button here, but hopefully I don't hit the wrong button. The longest drum roll of all time. It is
Woo, buddy.
Thank you, John. Chivalry is not dead. I think it is the man's job to lift and lower the seat, both. Just being courteous. Now, that's probably because there was I was raised with like basically all women growing up.
So you're saying you were brainwashed from childhood.
I might have been classically conditioned. There might be some Pavlov's dog type stuff going in there, and mom brainwashed me because she didn't want me to pee on the seat and stuff.
Oh
But
man.
you know,
Okay, we've been getting comments on this that are great. Can I pull these up real quick? These are fantastic. Dan the Bio Man. What's his name?
man.
Dan the Bio Man said, "Just sit when you pee. The battle will never exist."
Yeah, you know, I've heard a lot of people say in the middle of the night you can't miss the toilet bowl if you sit to pee, and I just can't will myself to do it.
I can't do it.
Why.
I can't do it either. Brian Winburn says this is the closest I'll get to glory on this topic.
Oh, okay.
And then MK Ultra says, "I duct tape the lid down after every use. Good luck, next person."
Oh my God. Have you seen before you go to the next comment, have you seen the like viral videos of people putting stuff under the lid when you I'm sure people have been doing it forever, but they'll put like a snake under there. And so when you lift the lid, the snake jumps out, or they'll put I've even seen somebody put like a plastic wrap or something under there. It's on top of the bowl, but under the seat. So when the person sits down to do their business, it just makes a big mess. That is a nasty, dirty, terrible prank to do to somebody.
And literally nasty and dirty. Like,
Yeah.
forget the scaring part or any of that stuff, but like the underside of the toilet seat is like one of those, like, it's not a good place to be.
No, and if you want to make your wife angry, you put some shrink wrap around that toilet bowl and have her sit there, and in the middle of the night she gets up to use the restroom, and then can you imagine? That'd be true. Okay, next comment, please.
Wait. Okay, so Ben McMillan, after you made the comment, we both made the comment, "We'll never sit to pee." He says, "You obviously never tried hard enough."
Well, that could be. I'm going to keep not trying, Ben. Thank you for the suggestion.
Yeah, Brian Winburn says he's going to install a urinal.
Yeah, there you go. I had a buddy that I went to college with, and they had a urinal in their bathroom at their house when I went to visit. I said, "What are y'all doing with the urinal?" He said, my dad, he does construction, and I guess he got a urinal, and they built this house. He decided to put it in. I said, interesting. Although they do have 5 boys and a dad and a mom. So
here's my problem with urinals, man. Okay?
Yeah.
You've used public restrooms for years like I have.
Yes, of course. And I work at a public school with 12 to 18-year-olds or whatever.
Show me urinal that after just a few hours doesn't have a puddle of yellow around the outside of it in the floor.
Oh, yeah. Ladies, if you never been to a men's restroom where there's urinals, you don't know the pain of having to step up there. Like the worst are, when you're driving on the interstate and you stop at one of those rest areas and it hasn't been cleaned all day.
Oh, it's awful, man. And you do the straddle.
Yeah,
you do the straddle, and the worst is you're doing the straddle, but as you're doing the straddle, it's so bad your feet are sliding as you're trying to pee, and you're just praying that you don't do the Jean-Claude Van Damme and do the splits right there in the middle of the ground. I mean, it's so bad, man. And here's Nick Rambles. He nails it. Got to watch that splashback.
Yes.
You don't get
Yeah.
splashback on a regular toilet, but you get it on every urinal you use.
Yeah, all of them.
I think urinals are like one of the worst things ever created. Just put a bunch of toilets in.
I totally agree, man. I totally agree. Give me some privacy.
Just give me a little bit. Doc Watson said, middle of the night, it's the split stream that makes people miss.
Oh, okay. All right.
I think that's getting a little too graphic for us. We probably shouldn't have said that one. But it's out there
We're
now.
here. It's done.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
John's
Okay.
reading through the comments here.
Yeah, I'm just gonna leave the rest of those alone. So anyways, so the poll, I win, like equal opportunity. Like, here's the thing. People have been fighting for equal rights for years, right?
Yeah.
Equal toilet rights.
Yeah, I don't think everybody's going to be on board with those equal rights, John. I got to say, you're not going to get historical figures in our time. They're going to jump on board with your end. That's just what I think. But like I
Fair.
said, leave us comments. We're going to read through them and see what you all have to say. But
Yeah,
entertaining nonetheless.
yeah. Speaking of bathrooms, you've been wanting to talk about something for a while, and I keep putting it off, and I'm not going to put it off anymore, Jeremiah. I'm going to
All
let
right.
you talk about this. There's something you've been wanting to talk about, morning and evening routines for a while.
Mm-hmm.
So why don't you kind of
I'll set this up.
set this all up and tell us what you're wanting to talk about.
Okay. And you all, like I said, I know it's comment heavy episode here, but we're excited. We haven't live streamed in a long time.
Yeah.
And we're really enjoying interacting with you all and would love for you all to join us on live streams if you're just listening. But morning routine, nighttime routine. So I was riding with a buddy the other day and we were literally talking about our morning routine. And I was talking to him about how one thing I like to do in the morning is I like to set the iPad up on the kitchen island while I'm making my coffee and stuff. And I turn on the local news. And for me, the local news is WKYMT. It comes out of Lexington. And I like to listen to the stories. And his opinion was this is one of the worst things that you can do. He's like, you're literally hearing bad stuff to start your day. And I said, I never really thought about that. There is a lot of bad in the news. I say, what do you do different? And he says, well, I say, I want to be informed on my local happenings. I don't really care about the national news and CNN and all that stuff. I like to keep it local, maybe hit the radio on the way to work. And he says, well, I wait until a couple hours before I'm about to go to bed. So if that stuff's still in my head, then I only have to worry about it for a couple hours, and then I go to sleep and it's a fresh day. And I say, that's an interesting take. So that got me thinking, I wonder how my morning routine differs from other people's morning routine and my bedtime routine. How do other people set themselves up for success, not only at home, but also in the woods to get a good night's rest so that when you start your morning routine, you have something to look forward to, something that you're excited to get up for and do, and just make your day, set yourself up for success. So I thought it'd be fun to take a couple of minutes and you and I compare our morning and evening routines. And we'll do it briefly. And then also, if anybody in the audience wants to share, whether now or later, tell us how our routines differ from yours. So we'll quickly talk about at home and then how we kind of mirror that when we're out on trail so that we can still set ourselves up for a good day of backpacking or hiking the next day.
Sounds good.
Yeah, okay, so I'll start. Let's do morning routine first. So wake up, depending on the day, could be 5, could be 6 a.m. and get up. And myself, I like to start my day with some kind of wisdom. My buddy that I was talking to, he doesn't practice any religion, and he sits down and he has like a quotes book with all kinds of different historical figures and people that are allegedly enlightened. Personally, I like the Bible app, and I'm doing a Bible plan. And I urge everybody to seek some wisdom in your life, whatever it is. It doesn't have to be Christianity related, but that's just what I choose to do. And so I turn on my Bible app and I'm doing my plan and I let it play, or sometimes I'll sit and read it. And that's the way I like to start my morning, some type of wisdom. And then take a shower, brush my teeth, get ready for work. And I have for the past like month been grinding my own coffee beans and doing pour over coffee and doing it custom my way and frothing milk and steaming it and everything, making myself a great cup of coffee. So the thing that
Well,
I have to
dang, dude, look at you getting all bougie in the mornings.
Well, as long as my wife's getting the baby ready, I have time to make me a little coffee,
There
and
you
she
go.
does the K-cups, and I say, I could just make extra coffee." "That's okay, I like my K-cups." And I say, "Okay, cool." So I make my coffee, and that's that one thing that I really, really look forward to in the morning. And I look forward to going to sleep at night because I'm excited about that cup of coffee and kickstarting my day, and among other things, of course.
Right.
I got a very rewarding job and blah, blah, blah. But I really like that cup of coffee. And then I go to work, and that's kind of my morning routine. So
Ah, that's good.
you can ask questions. There's something I didn't clarify on, but that's like the ins and outs, the basics of my morning routine. Take the dogs out, blah, blah, blah. But
Yeah, yeah,
that's the
yeah.
gist. What about you?
I get up at 5:10 because I want the extra 10 minutes of sleep. So I sleep till 5:10. I get up, I go downstairs, I do a short workout, push-ups, sit-ups, stuff like that, just to kind of get the blood flowing in the morning. Then I make myself a cup of coffee. We do K cups, but we also have the make your own K cup kind of thing. So we still grind our own coffee. We just put
Hmm.
them into the refillable little pods.
Hmm.
Unless my wife decides to buy us some really good stuff, and then we'll do that occasionally. So I'll have a cup of coffee. I usually get on and watch a little news or something. Because I work at a church, part of my job is to read the Bible. So I go to the church and read the Bible first thing when I get there in the mornings. Um, but before that, I watch a little bit of YouTube, catch up on a couple things, get the kids up and make them breakfast. Then I get dressed, do all the morning routine stuff there that you do to get ready for the day. I get in the truck and I'm gonna come clean. This is what I do on my way to work.
Oh,
I
texting
I
and
I
driving.
no, no, no. I listened to Busted Open Radio on my way to the office, which if you don't know what that is, that's a pro wrestling show on radio on Sirius XM, and
Wait
I
a
listen to that every
second.
morning. What's
Hold
that?
on a second. I've known John for years, and I've never heard this. We've known each other.
Since
Oh,
2018.
yeah. So 6, 7, 8 years, man. I pro wrestling.
Oh
What?
yeah, I watch it all, man. Like I have been since I was a child. It's like my guilty pleasure.
So when WWE transitioned to Netflix with Raw, you been
Mhm.
keeping up with that?
Yeah.
Okay, I watched episode 1. I couldn't even make it through episode 1. I was like, "What?" The first 20 minutes, there was no action, and I said, "What? You got The Rock coming out talking, you got Triple H coming out and talking, and nothing's happening." And then you had, well, I don't know, the first match, but, I don't wanna critique you too harshly
That's
here. We
okay. It's
all
okay. Everybody has their vice, you know?
Sure.
You and I were talking beforehand. I was talking about how it nothing against Dr. Pepper, but if you're watching the live stream right now and you see this Dr. Pepper Zero blackberry stuff, yeah, it tastes like mouthwash. Awful. But I paid for it, so I'm gonna drink all of them. Because uh, I paid for it. And one of the things that you said is, the cheapest way to not have to pay for that is to never buy it and drink water. And I
Mhm.
said, "Yeah, but the cheapest way, the biggest way for me to save money over my lifetime is not to ever go backpacking again, and that ain't happening." So we all have things we waste our time with. We all have things that we enjoy that maybe other people don't. But that is one of my guilty pleasures and has been, gosh, my entire life. So, yeah, big pro wrestling fan. I'm gonna admit it. I've gone public. I've now come out of the wrestling closet, and here it is for the whole world to hear.
Well, not too much judgment, dude. I grew up the first video game I had was on PlayStation 1. Well, I mean, I had like Sega Genesis and stuff, but I'd say the first modern game that I played was PlayStation 1. My sister got one for Christmas, and the only game we could afford was the demo that came with the PlayStation. And so, bro, I cannot count how many times I'd played the match of Stone Cold versus The Rock. It was the only thing. You you would just play it over and over and over, and then I could actually when I was able to, ask on my birthday, "What else can I get?" I was getting all the wrestling games, and I watched the whole Attitude Era. I mean, a little bit was before my time because I was
All
born
right.
in '92, but you're a little older than I am. Not much, but you got to live through some of that stuff that I didn't get to, and, I used to be a huge fan,
Mhm.
and, I mean, I remember John Cena. he came out, blew up. He was huge. And then I think I went to college and I just found other interests. But pro wrestling, dude, that is a real, I don't know if I call it sport, but it is
It's an
a,
it's a it's an athletic entertainment.
yes, super athlete. I mean, you're talking about some of the best athletes on the planet, in my
Oh yeah.
opinion. These people are they travel nonstop. That is a hard life to live. I don't know how much people have looked into it, but there's a bunch of documentaries, and the wrestling lifestyle is a tough one.
Ben McMillan just said he just called John old.
No, I did not. He's a little older than me. A little older, not much. A little older.
It's like 20 years. Like people may not realize this, but there's 20 years between me and Jeremiah.
Well, he could be my dad, but that's Mr.
You know the funniest thing, and maybe we've never talked about this on here before,
Uh-huh.
but Jason Waub, Mr. Backpacking with Jason Sir, and I are the same age. Like we graduated the same year from high school and everything. But we never talk about that. I always talk about him like he's so much older than I am, but we're the exact same age.
Yeah, but well, I won't say anything. I don't want to insult anybody. Oh, also, it looks like Drooper dropped
can
in.
I just post this real quick because this is kind of fun.
Yeah, sure.
So Drooper, I have to tell you something, man. We answered your question earlier on in the podcast, so
Yep.
you'll be able to listen if you go back and check that out. So definitely tomorrow this is going to be released again. Make sure you go on there and check it out. And then Ben McMillan also said he just called John really old.
No, I didn't. Ben, why are you trying to poison John's brain with these comments?
I don't know if it's poison. It's kind of fun.
Oh, well, tomato, I suppose.
Can I do something, Jeremiah?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because we're starting to. It's about time to start wrapping things up here soon.
Yeah.
Can you just go like this with your watch hand real quick?
Sure.
Okay. Everybody look at what we're wearing because this weekend we're both going out. We're doing videos, and you're going to find out about these things that are on our wrists, and they're different from each other. So
you got yours as well.
Yeah, mine came in, and it is different. It is not. It was not the same watch that Jeremiah has. We have two different companies, and so you're going to get to hear opposing viewpoints on some watches. Actually, it's not opposing viewpoints, just viewpoints on completely different watches. So if you're in the arena for wanting to buy a GPS watch to use out in the backcountry, you got some videos coming up here real soon that you'll be able to watch and check that stuff out.
Yeah, by the way, it is, I don't remember if I told you, but it's officially done. I have everything done on my first Camino episode, and I have it uploaded to YouTube and everything. I'm just I've sent my information. I'm waiting on my pay. And then as soon as I get it from this company that sponsored my video, I will release this video. So,
well, I did not get paid for this one. I just got a watch. So,
well, I got the watch too, but also got paid for full transparency.
Yeah, my transparency is they sent me a watch and said, "Would you do a video about this?" And I said, "You know what? That's a cool watch. Yes, I will."
Well, like John said, if you're in the game for a new watch, I actually used the Garmin, the Phoenix for years, and then it crapped out on me. But this is a totally different brand, totally different watch. But yeah,
you're actually using a brand of watch that I used to use.
Yeah, Sunto.
So yes, I used to have a Sunto watch. So, and I believe that Devin also used Sunto watches at one point. So so yeah, so those are definitely good watches, and I'm rocking a Koros. So
Koros, I haven't tried them.
Yeah, so we'll see how it goes. It's this weekend I'm going to run it through the ringer while we're out there in these vehicles. I figured it'd be a good time to use it. So
I like it. Hey,
we'll see what happens.
You think that for old time's sake, we can wrap the show with some poop talk?
Oh, do you have a story?
Well, I don't necessarily have a story, but we were talking about the routines, and we got to share a little bit about our morning routines at the house. But I know we're not really going to run out of time. But honestly, I like to do an hour on the podcast. It's fun. You get to talk about the things you want to talk about, and the weather is lovely outside, and I'm really excited. Believe it or not, I'm excited about washing my truck, dude. We had all this snow, and I drove the truck, and it is disgusting. And
when the salt is so bad it looks like your truck has scales, it's time to wash it. Yeah.
And my truck
Yeah,
is
yeah.
just jet black. So right now the bottom half is white, and then the whole thing is supposed to be black. And my running boards have a layer of salt.
And
So
that's funny. Mine's white, and right now it's just a funky tan color. So
you need to
I get
wash
you.
it.
I get you, man.
It's like 75 degrees here, and it's been winter, winter, winter. So anyway, not necessarily the poop, but I do want, or not a poop story, but I do want to wrap with the poop routine. So at home, I have a bidet installed in the toilet. So whenever,
Wow. When did this happen?
well, I got it for Christmas, not last year, but the year before.
Wow. You're
Gift from my wife. Yeah.
wow.
Yeah. So unfortunately, it's not heated water. It comes out at the
Wait, so what you're saying is it's refreshing.
It is refreshing. It comes out of whatever the temperature of the ground is. So usually
So for the
about,
past couple weeks, it's been miserable.
it's been a crisp 50 degrees. So it is refreshing, to say the least. Home, you drastically reduce the amount of toilet paper that you need if you install a bidet. So there is an upfront cost of putting the bidet in, but literally you can get one at Walmart for like $9. Like
Well, if we ever have another like major virus that hits, you're going to be the happy one because all the rest of us won't be able to find toilet paper.
Yeah, yeah. I remember that, bro. That was insane. But anyway, at the house, my bidet is installed in the toilet seat, like under the toilet seat. So it's literally just a knob that you turn. You get yourself clean, and then you can pat dry. So you only need, a few squares to dry off with. It does all the cleaning. On trail, I take a pocket bidet. So I still use the bidet, but if I forget it, then I have like dude wipes or baby wipes. You can even dry them out and then wet them to.
And Doc Watson wants to know: do you heat the water for your bidet when you're on trail?
I really, really have thought about it on the really, really cold trips, but I'm just so scared that I will score. Can you imagine third-degree burns on the tush
Of
in the
all the
wood?
places, of all the
And
places.
yeah, and you got to walk out too. You're just in the.
Yeah.
Imagine hitting your SOS button and they arrive and they're like, "What's wrong?" And you're like, "I'm bleeding from my bunghole. I got
Third-degree
fourth-degree
bunghole burns.
Yeah,
Oh.
you talk about a story, bro. You'd go on. You'd either
Oof.
bury your head in the sand or go on every podcast to talk about it. So, I don't know which way I would lean.
I'd call Dan Becker immediately. Hey, Dan, all those burn videos you've been doing? I got one for you.
Oh, I got some pictures to share with you, Dan.
I'm not watching that episode. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I'm not watching.
That's my routine at home. You can just pat dry. On the trail, I still use the bidet.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's much better at home because you have an endless supply of water. On trail, you can either use filtered or unfiltered water, but it's usually colder than at home because it's coming out of a creek.
So here's my question though. Would you use unfiltered water? Because they say that going up through there is one of the easiest ways to pick up a virus.
No way. Who says that?
I'm pretty sure that's like a medical thing. Like we can look that up. Let's make that a poll for this week. Can you make that a poll?
Oh,
Can you get a virus? Can you get a virus through your bung? Yes or no?
Let's see. All right, I'll write it down and we'll see. I think a simple Google. Well, actually, I'm not even sure Google's going to be accurate or how to Google this, but we could. But I will set up the poll and we'll see if this gets a response. It might get us banned from Spotify. But
I doubt it. I've heard some of the other podcasts that are on Spotify. I think we're gonna be fine.
Okay. I wonder if it matters really what country you're in. I'd say you're at higher risk at developing countries.
Oh, dude. I just don't even do the poll. I'm reading about it right now.
Okay. All right. I will negate the poll.
You actually can.
Oh, so you're saying I really, really, really need to filter my water?
Yes, you really need to filter your water, bro. Yeah, do that.
Okay.
It says you can get anal herpes through any form of contact where an affected part of your touches your anal area.
Surely there's not a bunch of herpes in the water.
Well, I mean, herpes, other virus. I mean, it's a virus, so it means that you can get a virus. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So. Okay, and look what Brian Winburn says. It's the Protozoa Express Lane.
Oh, I'd say he's right then. If your Google is correct.
Yeah. So Yeah.
Here's the thing though.
And I
The
don't think
problem,
I think it's one of those things where you're actually like aiming it up there. You know what I mean?
yeah, and the pressure, depending on how much pressure you're using. Oh, good Lord.
Ben McMillan, can you imagine all the retargeted ads you're going to get about your bunghole?
Oh, luckily I didn't Google it. John did, so that's his.
Oh,
That's his.
I know. I shouldn't have done that. Oh,
Yeah,
well.
don't do that.
Funny thing, Jeremiah, I'm using our backpacking podcast account on Google, so you're going to get them too.
Oh my goodness, you sabotaged me, bro. Maybe it'll be some good ads. I don't know. Maybe they'll
Yeah,
give me a better day.
and
A
maybe
clean.
good topics for future episodes. Who knows?
Yeah. The one problem though with the filtering water is then you're using the bottle that you're drinking from as your bidet bottle, which I think we've talked
But you
about
don't have
this
to though.
before.
You don't have
Well,
to. Like if you
what's
were
your
to bring like a small like 16-ounce bottle that's only for that, because it weighs
Mhm.
what, like an ounce and a half.
I don't want to carry it, man. I got too much chocolate.
Put, huh? An
I
ounce
got
and a
too much
half?
chocolate. Got too much ounce and a half.
Jeremiah, I don't even want you to pretend like you care about weight.
That's true, bro.
I don't even want
That's
you to pretend like you
true.
care about weight.
That's
But
true. I crushed up even like the regular 16.9
yeah.
ounce, like you said.
Oh gosh, Sean R. He said it's a viral viaduct.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my
Ridiculous.
gosh, that's
Boy,
hilarious.
we went off the rails without Derwin. Where's he
I know,
at?
and without Jason on here.
Yeah, but here we are, man. I'm going to see you Friday. We're
Yes,
doing it.
sir. Yes, sir. We'll see you Friday night. We'll eat some steak fajitas together, and whatever else everybody else brings, we're gonna have a good time.
Oh man, I can't wait.
I know,
Oh,
I
just a
know, I
couple
know.
of days, dude.
All right.
So
Well, Jeremiah, for myself and for you, I say we head out of here and enjoy this weather.
I totally agree, man. I've had a great time. Thank you everybody for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next one.
Check you guys later.